Hello, welcome to Chrissy Creates. ABC April is no more, unfortunately. Sad face. We've finished on Thursday with the letter Z. But as you know, I have been creating a little mini album for my, well, not so little, but a mini album for my daughter as a memory keeper to keep all her university memories in. Well, not all, but some of the memories of this year. And I haven't had a lot of time for decorating, so today is just going to be a fun decorate with me video. I don't know how much I'm going to be talking. I don't know if I'm going to waffle or if it's just going to be quiet time and I'll just be crafting with some nice music in the background. I actually have no clue, but I have stuff. So before I continue, I just want to take another little moment. I know I've taken a moment in letter Z as well, but I want to take another little moment and just really thank Tony and Margaret from the bottom of my heart for this collaboration, craft along, whatever you want to call it. It's a fantastic idea, and I've reached out to both of them on Instagram and just popped them a personal message to say thank you. But I really think this is a fantastic idea. It just binds the whole community together, and we discover new people and get to know crafters that, or I got to know crafters that I haven't heard of before. Thanks again, Margaret and Tony, for putting this together and just bringing everybody together. And guys, they did reply to my messages, and they are both so sweet, and they are so supportive. They say never meet your heroes, but honestly, ladies, you probably won't even watch my video. I'm way too small, but you're amazing. You're just amazing as crafters, as people, everything. Okay, gushing over. Let's start just playing with some stuff. As I've said before, I am using this let's try that again. I'm using this digital kit that was designed by Kristen Cronenbarrow for Sweet Shop Designs. I do link it below as always, and I've explained the whole thing about this kit in most of my videos, so I'm not going to repeat it today because today will probably be a long one. So I have out my embellishments from the kit that are all cut and ready to go. I can just pull some stuff out of here. I've been using this throughout the what shall we call it, the album, season, whatever. So I'll definitely be using as much of these as possible because I don't want to have leftovers, or as little as possible leftovers. And then I still have these two altered playing cards that I did with acetate for letter A, and I would like to use them. So I'm not sure where yet, but I'm keeping them in sight so that I can use them somewhere. And then I have a whole box full of those acetate butterflies we did, and some hole reinforcers and other little die cuts. I have my air dry clay little charms that I made. This is also, it's just the alphabet letters from the kit. I don't know if I'll be using them, but I might. They're cut and prepped and ready to go. Then guys, don't even ask me. I discovered this little box with tiny little tickets in my drawer the other day as I was cleaning up. I might be using some of them. I don't know which kit they came from. I don't even have a clue. This is from way back, but I think they're cute, so I might use them. I just pulled them out, and then I have a whole box full of tickets from Mr. Tim Holtz that are already made. I'm not sure. I didn't make in the colors that I'm using, but I might just pull out some of the neutral ones to use as background somewhere. And I have the sentiments from the kit all cut and prepped and ready to go. And a whole box full of fussy... why do I want to keep saying fussy cuts? die cuts. A lot of little flowers and foliage and whatnot, and I have some more, and I have these little doilies. I just pulled out all of the stuff. I tend to always try to get things I think I might use. I just sort of surround myself with it. Because if it's in a drawer somewhere or in a cupboard somewhere, I tend to forget about it and then I don't use it. So certain things I never forget about, like my labels. I know they're there and I always use them. My hardware, I know it's there and I use it. And things like postage stamps, things like that I always use, and scrap pieces of paper I always use. So the scrap pieces of paper is always somewhere next to me. So like right here to my right, I have some of the journaling cards from the kids, and I have all the little scrappies that was made in the process of making my album. So I'm going to pull some of those to use for decoration. I am really, really surrounded. I'm not sure what I'm going to use. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. Let's see where the journey takes us. And of course, I completely forgot to add my rubber stamps to that. Of course, we're going to be using rubber stamps and doing some rubber stamping. Okay, let's just get going. I'm going to take it from the top and just work my way down. I'm actually thinking I would like some more foliage or something around the edges. Just something that sort of peeps out and maybe covers some part of the photo. It just looks more incorporated to me that way. So, I need to cover up this photo first. Let me just find something. I would just like to ask my South African viewers, have any of you ever seen this post-it label roll? It's like a low-tack kind of tape. It's just like a post-it, but it's only the glue bit of a post-it. I absolutely love working with this, and I found it in a shop once years ago, and I haven't seen it since. I would love to get my hands on some more of this because I'm starting to run low, and it doesn't pull up the paper. It is just amazing. Don't tell me painter's tape, and don't tell me just stick it on your clothes, and it does. I don't know, it doesn't work. It just takes my paper every single time. So I would love to get my hands on some more of that. Alright, so I did cover the photographs. I have some space here at the top with the top photo as well. So I'm just wondering, let's see what we have in here. I absolutely love foliage. I love to use foliage as a background. It's just, I don't know, it softens everything in my opinion. Let's see what we have here. Or shall we maybe do like a little label something? What does the front look like? I don't have any labels on here. I also don't have any tickets or anything on here. So maybe I can use some of that. I'll take my die cuts. I think I might use that one. I love this berry one. These are all the foliage is one of Mr. Tim Holtz's die cut sets. I think I'll maybe just do a shot in the end of the tools that I used. If you don't have this, just fussy cut some foliage from a book that you found in a thrift shop, whatever. You don't have to have everything I have. Keep in mind, I have been crafting for almost 30 years now, so over the years I have collected quite a bit of tools and stuff, so you don't need everything. You honestly don't. I'm actually considering doing a project, doing a mini album, because most of the time the junk journals, I mean, it's a junk journal, you expect to find junk in there, and that is part of the reason I think why it is so popular, is because you can do it with stuff you throw in your bin. But why not do a mini album in the same way? So I am considering maybe challenging myself to do a mini album only with stuff that I found in thrift shops, like old books or old dictionaries or something like that, and just using that and basic tools like glue, scissors, ruler, things like that. So if you would like to see something like that, please pop a comment below and I will definitely look into it. I already have a project lined up for after this, when we are done with this, but maybe when I'm finished with that, and it's a huge project, guys, I'm gonna be working like crazy. I'm not sure what I'm gonna use. I'm struggling to get my juices flowing this morning. I don't know why. But anyway, if you would like to see a video where I'm only using very, very basic stuff, please pop a comment below and I will have a think, and then let's do something together with very basic stuff. Let's just see some foliage. When in doubt, add a butterfly. Where did I put my butterflies? Oh. Underneath my scrap papers. Butterflies, come out. You need to be out here where we can play. Maybe this little subtle one. You don't always have to do a whole lot of stuff, Chrissy. It can just be that. That's enough. That's enough, yeah, but let's add some more. Maybe just a little. I'm just missing a little flower. Alright, then I would like to sort of repeat. I like repetition when I'm decorating my pages, so I like to work in threes. So 3 of around about the same shape. It doesn't have to be the exact same, but just in the same vicinity. So I will have foliage here and let's say foliage over here, but then I always feel I want to repeat it again somewhere. So I might take some foliage from the kit, you don't go in here, and just add that. But like with this, I have this big flower, so I'm going to add this little one somewhere. I don't know where yet. And then another one. I have another one in the same shape but a different color, so maybe add that over there, although it's much of the same kind of color, so maybe not. I'm not sure. You don't have to repeat everything, but I do like to repeat some of the basic stuff. It just pulls your eye to move over the whole page. Do that, maybe like this. Do I want that flower? I actually liked this much more. Just keep it plain. I think so. I'm gonna do that. Like so. I'm just thinking of a quote that I would actually like to add over here, but I'll have to go and type that out. it's a quote of a song that they always play on campus. So I'm thinking, let's repeat the butterflies. Let's leave the flowers to the side for now. This, I'm happy with that. And then a lovely butterfly over there, and maybe, guys, I'll bring the whole page in shot just now. I'm just looking quickly for my third butterfly that I'm going to want to use. These two are the exact same. One is just smaller. Shall we do that? I'm thinking I'm going to use it over here like that, and this one over here. And then I just need another piece of foliage. Where did I? Put away this one, but I think I'm going to use it here at the top. Yeah, like that. And maybe just some torn dictionary paper. Or music paper or something. Just, ooh, I still have these as well. I just place them somewhere I'm going to see them. I have this strippy of music paper. Is it too narrow? I think so. Sorry guys, I don't know what's going on. I really have a frog in my throat, and it seems to be like every single morning. But the wind's been blowing like crazy, and my sinuses don't like that. Sorry, I'm not complaining. I don't want to be complaining about this stuff. Let's just tear it. It's not that deep. Just do it. Go. And like so. Now you'll see as we go on pages where I don't have a photograph, I just glue, I make a little cluster and I just glue around the sides and leave an opening where the photograph can be slid in. It's quite difficult working where the photos are already in and trying to keep the privacy. So maybe I must just fold this page another time just to cover the faces. That might help me out. I'm happy with this little cluster. So I'm going to just ink around the paper and glue that down. And I'm going to glue this down. And I'll fold the paper so it's easier to work. And I think I'm quickly going to do that little quote. I'm going to print it on some coffee dyed paper. And I'm just going to tear it around the edges and ink it and glue it down. No rocket science, that's basically just it. Okay, there we go. So I just made this little banner to the side so you can actually see it from the front. It's looking a little bit busy, but I think it's not too bad. And then when you flip it open, there are some butterflies, and I just put this little faux postage stamp that I made during ABC April. I put to the side, and I repeated the butterflies. You can see they're all going in a triangle. This just draw your eyes to the whole page. And then on the top part I also added some butterflies. Again, it just draws your eyes upwards. I only glued, well, not all of the butterflies, but a lot of them I just glued only on their bodies. So the wings are loose. Even this one that's flatter, the wings are a little bit more loose, so it gives dimension to your page. And then this little flower I only fastened with a brad. so that's also popping up just a little bit. Right, I hope you enjoy this. As I say, it is rather busy, but I think it looks nice. Let's continue. Oh boy, I just want to get this, especially this black soot ink. I don't want to mess up my album. Alright, the spine I am happy with as is. I'm not going to do too much to the spine. It has these dangles. And I made, this is just a Scrabble tile, a very old Scrabble set that I bought at a thrift store. In fact, it was a charity shop, I think, and I didn't even pay a lot for it. Some of the tiles were missing, but it is made of wood, so I actually love that. I love the aesthetic of that. And I've said during ABC April, I made these little resin charms. It just has some flowers from the kit on a book page background, and then on this side I just added a number 2, which is my daughter's favorite number. This one says another chapter. It's just a little stamp that I put there, and then OT is her study course. So, and then on the back we still need some tags or something to put in here. I don't think I'm going to do too much to the back because it lies on its back. You seldom see the back of the album. I just want some extra space for her to be able to add little bits and pieces, like let's say a map of campus or something like that, or the welcoming booklet or some such. So I'm actually considering not putting anything in here. I might add some little bits and pieces that she might be able to use throughout the album, but I think I'm going to leave it as is. I don't think I'm going to do too much to it. Okay, then first page, let's just see what still needs to be done here. It has this closure. I can maybe just add some foliage or something over here. I'm happy with, well, this tag is finished. I'm not going to add anything to this tag. That is done. I don't want to add anything here. I want to keep it as journaling space or photo space. So I'm going to leave this. This ball pin is actually bothering me a little bit because I don't want to lose the charm, but it is frustrating me because it's falling all over the place, and I wanted it over here. Do I want it to the front? Yeah, I want it on the front over here. Oh, come on. Why is this jump ring not even closed properly? There you go. Should I maybe just, I want it on the end. No. You know what, I'm going to remove it. I'll add this charm somewhere else. This background, maybe we can do a little quote or something. Let's see what we have in here. I think maybe that one. I'm going to tear around it and then just maybe add it to a scrap piece of music paper. Let's do that. This is a piece of, it's a label I made with some of the background pages. I think that might work. Though it is very, very dark. I don't know if you can hear the wind blowing, but it is horrible. It's a berg wind. Oh, that's too light again. I don't have a big one with just... which big ones do I have in here? I'm actually thinking if I had a big one with just a book page or something. Maybe something like that. Yes, I think so. That must go to the circle one. Yes, I think that looks better. And then maybe do it on that side. There's a lot going on this side, so I just want to balance it out a little bit. So I think I'll make a little cluster over here with just, let's just add another little flower and maybe some foliage. I think I'm going to just repeat this little flower on this side, like that, and I do have this foliage on this side that you also see, but that's repeated in this pattern, so I'm not going to repeat that. Maybe I must just take a die cut. I think just a die cut piece of foliage. Like that. And also I don't want to start, I must keep in mind there's a tag coming in here. I mustn't make it too bulky. So I'm thinking just like that. Maybe stamp a little something over here because this looks like a blank space. I have out this set from Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's just calendar numbers, but it does have the word friends on it. So I'm thinking friends will work. Okay. Now I'm just going to do it on the background like that. I'm not going to add it to another piece of paper, and I think I'm going to do it over here like that. And then how about this, captured in time here at the bottom. I still wanted to add a little piece of foliage somewhere over here, so maybe just repeat that color so your eye gets drawn down. But let's do, ooh, I actually have this one. That's a longer piece. Oh, this would have been nice if it was that way around, but it is a pattern paper. Well, it is a little bit embossed, so that's not going to work. Let's try another one. What do we have that's interesting? I have lots that's interesting, actually. Decisions. I do think I want a little something that is just a bit bigger. Maybe a little something like this. And then move this one that side. That makes that side of the page too heavy. Decisions. I'm just going to glue to the bottom so the photos can slide in, and then I think so, because I do have this foliage and there's also foliage peeking out. Don't make it too busy. I think that's good. Okay, I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to stamp the friends. I think the friends I'm going to stamp with I think probably Morning Mist from Versifine. It's just like a light greyish. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I think I would like to add a little bit of fabric. This is just some seam binding that I bought from a second-hand store, and I just washed it and sort of flattened it out. So I'm going to do this captured in time on there, just tear it over here. And then I decided that on the other page is that in frame. I used these two brads for the closure, and I think it might be a good idea to just repeat the brads on this side. We tend to forget that we're actually working with this canvas. Oops. We're working with a whole canvas, so we need to keep in mind realistically when you're looking at your album, you don't have only this piece, you have a whole spread. So we must keep in mind that must also sort of fit each other, which is why I'm thinking, okay, these two labels are the exact same shape, which is okay, but I think I'm going to repeat a label of similar shape on this side. It's just again it forms like a leading line, not a leading line, but like a line that your eye can follow, which makes it comfortable for our eyes. They like moving around and following stuff. So yes, if this is over here, just add that little piece of interest, and then I'm going to add a brad to this little flower in the center. It does have space for it, so that all ties together. I'm just trying to explain how my thought process works. I'm trying to give you some tips and tricks for some people who are maybe newcomers to crafting, to paper crafting. And as you can see, I try to incorporate as many small little details that you probably won't notice the first time that you are flipping through the album. But things like my daughter's hockey number, it is in there. She's going to pick up on it. And her study course is in there. She's going to pick up on it. So I try to incorporate as many as possible, such little tiny things, so that every time she flips through the album, it's like going on a new adventure, and she'll discover some new little bits and pieces along the way. There we go, I'm quite happy with that. There's just a little bit of interest when the tag is out, and then when you flip up this little bit, I made sure not to glue these little petals or leaves. So the photo, I did have to glue the closure down. I couldn't leave it open, it kept coming off. So the photo can still go over the closure and under the leaves if need be. I just followed the lines of the photo mat. And then this is just like in the fold. So I will glue these leaves down once the photos are actually in. I just wanted to leave this one as well, so it can also go over the photo. Okay, and then it pops open. And I have this little mountain pop-up, and I'm thinking we can make this quite interesting by adding some flowers and stuff to the back. I actually do have this little lens, camera lens, that just says capture every moment, so that might work if I put it in there. Shall I put it over top? Maybe over top, and just making sure that I'm not gluing onto the photo. And okay, these cards I'm going to leave just as is, so she'll have some journaling space or photo space. I'm not going to do anything to them, and also they're going in and out the whole time, so I don't want that to be too much of an issue. I might just add some stamps. Shall we add a little sentiment? Let me think on that. A stamp will actually be great, because then it can still slide in comfortably. Right, I'm going to do that over there, but then I need a little, I'm not going to do that. I can actually cut this in half. I'm just trying to make sure that I do get the capture every moment in each half, so it makes sense. Then I'm going to just glue half on that side and half on this side. Yes, I'm going to do that. Thin strip of glue. And then of course well, I'm going to add some flowers. That side, and then I think I'm just going to pop a little one. Yeah, I don't want it to go over the side because it's going to close the pocket. Little one over here. Shall we do the bigger one over here and the little one over there? Okay, I like that. With obviously some foliage. Always add foliage. I love adding foliage. So I'm thinking maybe using these leaves. My craft desk is just that little bit too small. Bigger. If that is going to be standing out, maybe, although you don't really see the bottom, I'll consider just giving it a bit of dimension. I think I'll just roll it over something round, bone folder or something, and then am I keeping the? I think I'm keeping the same leaves. Oh, I like that. And then another little one on that side. There you go. Do I want I'm just thinking I don't want anything behind the flowers, I don't think. Maybe a label behind these ones. Okay, so my camera died on me. It decided it's tired now, but I'm not tired yet, so I just continued and I think we finished this one together. Some time have passed, so I can't even remember what I've done and what I haven't. So on this side I just put a big label with this is just like a piece of lace and a little ticket. This piece of lace actually still comes from leftover bits and pieces of my wedding gown, which was 25 years ago. And yes, it was here in a box somewhere, so I just decided I think that would look nice over there. And then over here I'm just going to show you one side because top and bottom looks the same, so I just made a little teeny cluster there. I added some tabs so you can open it up, and I wanted to have small tabs because I don't want it to bump into the spine on the inside. So over here I just put a die and then some flowery bits, and this side also, and they're just a piece of leftover scrappies that I just tore, and I put some flowers over there. And as I said, the bottom is, I think I didn't show the other side. This side I also just put some of the embellishments from the kit, and I kept it rather similar. I don't want it to be too different. You can't look at so many things, so I just thought that will be fine. Okay, I just want to double check that those tabs don't make trouble. Okay, they don't. Oh yes, and I put strip of paper on the inside of the spine. Just see this, the glue, I just glued it with some glue stick and I think maybe I missed a spot. Okay. There we go. Okay, then this side, I think I'll just put a little something on the pockets. The paper is so lovely. I don't think I want to add a lot over here. I might just pop in maybe I'll just pop in a camera or something, although there are 2 cameras on there. Maybe just a stamp. Oh no, just the one. I think I'm going to pop this stamp just here in the corner. And I don't want to do much to the back. I might do a little cluster here in the corner. I'm still deciding. Actually, let's see if I have a finished cluster that will work. These are too bulky. No, they won't work. But I think I'll do something like this. Just not so texturized. I'll do in the corner over there, I think. Or shall we? Oh, maybe I can just pop this journal card here. Shall we make this a pocket? That might work. I think I'll make that a pocket. Am I in frame? I might make that a pocket with a little tag in it. And inside I'm not going to do anything. It is very busy as it is. So I'm going to leave the inside as is. Why is this whole piece loose? This one as well. Oh yes, now I remember when I made it, I only glued the middle because for in case I wanted to put some embellishments underneath it. I'm not going to, so I'm going to just stick that flat. Okay, I'm quickly going to finish that. On this side, I'm also not going to do much. I might add a little sentiment or something over here. There's another hidden tag in here, in this pocket. And then I have 2 more journal cards, 2 more big journal cards. This one is the same height as the ticket, so I think I'm going to take that out. I'll use it somewhere else. I'll just leave this one in here. That's just some extra space for photos. On this page I'm not going to do anything. I might just add little stamps or something to some of these cards. Okay, I'm just going to decide and then I will finish it up. I think you already have an idea of how my brain works when I'm busy decorating. So I'm going to finish as much as I can and then we can just do a little flip through. I thought I'd just give a quick recap of what I did today. So this is the front page. It's a little bit busy, but I actually like it. It's not too bad. Yes, that's not supposed to be there, but I'm just covering up faces for privacy, so it flips up. And I have this faux postage stamp that I made during ABC April. Just some butterflies that I gave some dimension, the same way Tony does. And then this is just a little quote from a song that they often play at university. And then up here is another photo, just with small little clusters, just some foliage and some butterflies, just to keep it interesting. Okay, and then the first page, I have this piece of, what do you call that, seam binding. that I bought from a thrift shop, and I just washed it, so the folded bits lost its fold because it was just ironed. So I like the look of that. It's a nice thin piece of material. I really struggle to get a hold of cheesecloth. I did find some on Temu, so I ordered it because I don't know where else to get it. Anyway, okay, this is the hidden tag I made in ABC April. Then here I just made a little cluster with a label and a flower, and I just repeated this brad on this side. I stamped something. I don't want to make it too bulky because there is a tag coming in and out all the time. Right, and then I have the flip up. I only added this little flower here just to soften it a little bit, and it folds together with this foliage folds together with a page. And then opening that up, trying to be in frame. Guys, my desk is so full. You don't even want to see the mess that's not in frame. So I have this little pop-up. I just added some little flowers to it. That also pops up, and that little camera lens that says capture every moment, that also pops up. All of the cluster pieces that is covering photos, you can see over there, I just made sure I stuck a piece of scrap paper into that little corner before I glued this down to make sure that the glue didn't seep onto my frame, on my photo mat, so that you still can slip a photo in there. Usually I prefer to have my photos printed first. You can see over here as well, something can slip behind it. I prefer to have my photos printed and just work with the photos. You'll still see on the channel. For me, my brain just works easier that way, and then it feels finished. But in this case, I just made sure to leave that space unglued so a photo can slip in there. And then on these journal cards, I just added a little bit of sentiments. I did some stenciling and just some grunging. My daughter loves coffee, so I just had this little grungy kind of stamp that said spill the beans, and a little faux coffee ring, also some splatters and some stencils. This one is just more of the same. I did some stenciling over there and just more of the same, just to make it interesting. Come on, go in straight, thank you. Alright, and then the next page is that little gatefold thingy. This was already on here, so I sort of repeated the idea of that, only on this side. It feels more balanced for me. And then this flips up and this flips down. There I think this cluster was already there, if I'm not mistaken. And then here is also I just added a scrap piece of music paper and a little flower. And then let me just see which side is in frame. Over here I just did, and all of these basically look the same. In my full flip through I'll properly show everything. Also just this I already showed, sorry. Just some die cuts over here, and here's just a torn piece of paper with some flowers on it and a die cut. And on this side as well, just some of the embellishments. I just put a piece of journal paper, it's a journal accounting whatever paper, behind this little flower, just for a little something. And then the tabs, I did a little stamping with some of Tim Holtz's stamps. I just stamped partial pieces on there. So the top one is just exactly the same. I'm not going to show you that one. And then I also did add a little strippy on the, I wonder what is lifting this up. Better check. I just added a little strippy to the spine over here, just to finish that off. And the next page I also did a little strippy over here, and I just placed a little stamp there and added some bits and pieces on the pockets. and I added a little pocket over here with a tag in it. That is just some extra journaling space if she should need it. And this opens up. I didn't do much here because it's very busy, so each of these flips I just added a little something to it just for some interest on each and every one of them. And I added some sentiments, and I just had a lot of fun. And I think that is basically how far I got. Yes, I haven't done anything here yet. So my plan is that I am just going to, I'm still going to film today. I'm going to continue on the rest of the album, decorating it, but I thought I'm going to try my hand at an ASMR video, so I won't be talking. Check out my next video. I'm just going to be crafting, no talking, and if you would like to switch me on in the background, craft along with me, and let's just have some fun crafting with a friend. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!